And alas, we have come to the end. The last song, One Will Remain. Well, no one will remain after this song, but yeah, I mean, holy crap, what an album so far. Let's not get into that so far. I am going to do like a sort of like a semi-album review at the end. So I'll do like obviously my reaction to the song and stuff like that now, and talk about that for a little bit, and then we'll talk about the album and just kind of give like an overall opinion and overall view of it. So if that's what you're here for, come and skip towards the end for that. If you're here for the song as well, then hell yeah, I'll very much appreciate it. So yeah, let's jump into this one first. As always, guys, don't forget to leave a like on this one as well. Maybe possibly subscribe if you've enjoyed this series, or if you're a Love Bites fan, you want to help another Love Bites fan out. I've got lots more content, lots more Love Bites content coming in the future as well. So I hope you guys really appreciate that. And yeah, let's do this. So last song, and then we go into the talk about the song a little bit, and we'll talk about the album review as a whole. Kind of don't want this album to end. I need to pick me up after the last song. Now they're just showing off. What an intro. Ah, this is the pick me up I needed. That was buttery smooth. I mean, what a way to end an album. I mean, that was basically that was them showing off. Like, considering that, I feel like they both Midori and Miyako shown a considerable amount of self restraint on the entire album. I always felt like everything that they did, was fit the song first before showing off. This one was a bit of the latter. This one was a little bit egotistical. But as a metal fan, holy shit, you fucking love it. What an outro. This is exactly what it was. Of all the things that was probably lacking on the album, this was it. This was just them going crazy, going ham. These girls are off the fucking chain. It was just them just being their awesome, absolute beast of the best they can be. What a way to end. I think that's probably one of the things I'm going to highlight on this album in particular, which I'm going to get to in a minute. But this song is what an amazing way to end the album. I kind of take it back a little bit because I turned around and said, like, how are you ever going to beat Eternally? And I think I still maintain that Eternally would have been like an absolutely amazing album ender. It definitely would have left you like sort of like, holy crap, like emotional at the end of the album. But I can see why maybe that was song 11 and why they've made this one the last one. Because I think you want to finish the album, not really on a too much of a low note, but you want to feel like, oh yeah, hell yeah, that was amazing, absolutely incredible. And I feel like this song does that. It gives you that little bit of extra pizzazz that they've kind of like self-contained within the entirety of this album. It is just them again, just unshackled a little bit, and I love that. And I think keeping that till the last song of the album is a fantastic idea, because you just like, you finish this album now and you're just like, holy fucking shit, I want to listen to this again. So I think that was a good idea, actually. I think it was a really good idea to do that. Instead of like finishing on a bit of a dour note, to finish on this song, I think props off to that. I think it's a great job. So now I'm going to talk about the album as a whole. So this is what you're here for. Welcome. If you've skipped the track by tracks, we're here now. I'm gonna be honest. Obviously, I've only listened to this once, and I've listened to this now, barely just a few hours after this album dropping. So my thoughts and opinions may change, obviously, over time. I'm just doing this now, having only listened to each song once, with the exception of Outstanding Power, which I've listened to multiple times. So my first initial thoughts are, I actually think this is a fucking brilliant album. I think this is an absolutely fucking incredible album. I think if you are a Love Bites fan of any form, of any particular genre, any particular taste coming into this, I think that you are going to be pleased. I think it will completely and utterly whet your appetite. There's new songs here, there's flashy songs, there's modernized songs, you've got your slower paced songs, almost your rock songs as well. You've got your ballad, and then you've got your go ham, just off the rails ending. They in this album, I feel like they've ticked a lot of boxes successfully, and it flows really well. Like the first 4 or 5 songs of this album are beautiful beautifully constructed, pure blissful chaos, and I fucking love it. Then you got like the midsection of this album from about song 5 to 7, and it kind of slows it down a little bit. This is where you take the take a breath part of the album, I feel like, where they experiment a little bit more, kind of going in more sort of like a poppy, not so much a poppy. Poppy's probably the wrong word. More of a rock orientated kind of like tempo here, where things are a bit more slowed down. And then for the back half of the album, again for the last couple of songs, for the last 4 or 5 songs, it's really fast paced, with the exception of Eternally, which I thought was absolutely fucking fantastic. I feel like that song just by itself could have easily ended this album and just would have been just hit you in the feels and just hit you in an absolute sort of like a weird low high where you would have finished the album just like holy shit, you know, like it would have been a great ender. But having said that, I'm really glad that we got this last song, because it just ends in a high. It ends in pretty much the way that you want Love Bites. You know, you want to hear Miyako and Midori go absolutely fucking crazy. You want to hear Fami just going off the rails. You want to hear Haruna just doing Haruna things that to this day I can't pin down exactly how she does it. She has the tiniest little legs and yet out drums like fucking everybody. It's madness. It's probably a little bit of a weird sort of ending for Asami, I feel like. Although to be fair, she's had so many high points on this album. The last song sort of does see her sort of in the backseat a little bit, while obviously, like you said, Midori, Mayako kind of take a bit of precedent on this song. They take the limelight a little bit, and I feel like in other Love Bites albums, I feel like the limelight has equally been kind of shed on Asami and the girls as well, especially Midori and Miyako. And I feel like in this album, I feel like every single girl had their moment to shine, which is not something I can say for every single one of their albums so far. So this, for me, I feel like they've really hit the nail on the head, perfected having each girl have their sort of time to shine. You've got Haruna doing her things, and although she doesn't have like a particular like drum solo or anything like that in here, she does so much, covers so much ground. Like, I would hate to know what these songs would sound like without her behind the drum kit, because she just makes the whole thing come together in a seamless way. Like I don't have enough praise for her on this album. I think she's done an absolutely phenomenal job, and I think for a lot of reviewers, I feel like obviously the praise will go towards like Asami, will go towards Miyako and Midori for obvious reasons, and I feel like that credit is justified. But that's why I'm kind of like really highlighting Haruna here, because I honestly God I feel like she deserves all the credit in the world for this, because I think she's done an absolutely stellar job. Low key, or probably not even low key, like is like one of the best drummers around at the minute. I would say probably the best drummer around at the minute. She is absolutely phenomenal. Is that slightly biased? Yes, but I still maintain it. Let's go on to Fami next. I'm really happy with Fami. We got a Fami-centric song. Maybe I'm being a little bit greedy and I'm like, oh, could we have put like 2 on here? Like, it was a 12 song. It was a 12-track album. Could we have put... But I'm happy with the 1, to be honest. I'm like, from the moment the song introed up, I'm again, the track names, I think it was Burning Halo, song number 4. But the moment that intro kind of came in, and just to hear her bass with like just really toned up for in the mix of that song, really prominent. I was just happy, because that was the one thing I was really crying out for, was to see some sort of like Fami input, to kind of to see her sort of kind of get her sort of like unofficial song of the band, to kind of really feel a part of Love Bites. I feel like and I really do feel like that song was it. It really brought a smile to my face to see that, and I was just like, oh yes. And then the fact that it never died off in the entire song was absolutely amazing. And we had some bits from hers as well, where she, her personality kind of shines through the interludes and all that. She puts in those little bits in between the verses and the chorus. She's phenomenal at that, and I really love it. One of the most talented things about Love Bites, which I really, really love, which is definitely a departure from like the Mio days. Is Mio sometimes she would strum along a lot to the obviously to the rhythm guitars, and that's still done here as well. But a lot of what Family does is she works around the rhythm guitars, and just hearing like the bass take on a sort of a life of its own just adds another dimension to Love Bites songs, and I really like that. I think Family is absolutely fantastic at what she does with that thing, and I think she's an outstanding addition. Really kind of like elevating Love Bites, I think, to another level, especially in their songs, especially in bass, which is kind of crazy. Because I was a big Mio fan, so hearing Family come in and just kind of almost do better, like that means, as no disservice to Mio, but I definitely feel like she's come in and sort of elevated Love Bites, and again taking them to the next step. Asami for me, absolutely brilliant album for her. Absolutely brilliant. She hits when she needs to hit. She's got those very different tones, the earwormy choruses as well. I think she's done a really good job here. She's kept me hooked. She kept me engaged. She did everything that I wanted her to do, and then some. Still able to surprise me, even in the 5th album in. Again, I maybe perhaps would like to see her like kind of go all out a little bit more, but again, as a singer, I understand why that's sort of like limited, why that's maybe protected. Obviously, if she's doing like major touring and the way that she uses her voice all the time, I can understand why that's not like balls to the walls all the time. And I feel like there is the right amount on this album where she comes in and she elevates a song when she needs to, and she really can power through, especially before a Mayako or Midori sort of solo. I love it. It's kind of choreographed, it's kind of predictable a little bit, but it still doesn't make it any less good. Where Asami will come in, she'll elevate her voice, she'll take that pitch, that octave higher, and then we'll go into a churning solo. And it's like the chef's kiss of knowing what's going to happen next, but regardless of how many times you hear it, it's fucking incredible. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And again, she does that the right amount. The ballad for Eternally, holy crap, she just like we know that obviously she can really use the power behind her voice. Not often do we see her use her other talents, like she came as like a jazzy singer, but like to really hit like the emotional depths and all that song, like you could really feel it when she sang. And you could really like feel the emotion that she was trying to portray, and the song did so well to captivate that as well, that like that just really hit me in the feels. And it's nice to see like Asami kind of like get her time to shine as well, kind of like spread her wings, show what she's all about, and kind of like just dip her toes into different genres a little bit, and show that she can do more than just the one thing that Love Bites are known for. I feel like in terms of like range, I feel like this album has a lot to offer. I feel like it has more than a lot to offer, actually. I was pleasantly surprised with the amount that we got on here, how diverse it is, how many kind of sort of like different subgenres we got on so many different songs. I feel like there's a lot here to please everybody. And again, the thing I hear the most about Love Bites is, Love Bites sound the same. Every song sounds the same. I don't think anybody can say that after this album. I feel like it really feels like they kind of like the girls kind of heard that criticism a little bit, and I've like really tried to make every song on this album feel like unique and different, and have its own story and have its own sort of like flair and vein of life a little bit. And I think they've done an outstanding job. It's definitely an album which I think keeps us entertained. There's a lot of highs on here. And there's just a lot to love. I feel like there's so many like different types of Love Bites fans will all like this album for various different reasons. Whether or not it's the mid section, the beginner section, the end section, the ballads. There's just a lot to love. It ticks, again, so many boxes. I really loved it. Is this album worth the wait? Yes. Like, I'm not even beating around the bush here. Yes, this album has been worth the wait. Especially the EP, I was like so hyped for this one. coming into it, because it felt like a long time. It felt like so long since the last album. And yeah, like outstanding power by name, outstanding power by just like everything in this album is absolutely incredible. I don't think I've enjoyed a album since Unlucky Morpheus Gate of Heaven. I was like really happy with that album. I am incredibly happy with this one. It's gonna be hard to beat. It's gonna be hard to beat this year. I mean, it's gonna be. Could it be nailed on album for the year? Probably for me. So early on, it probably is. It's gonna take an incredible effort from somebody to like pull the rug out of this album for me for like album of the year. And again, I'm coming into this one extremely biased. I know I am, but that's not gonna stop me. This album is better than I thought. Could I see maybe the complaints or something of this album? The only thing I can see is because this album is so diverse, maybe we'll get a few people that love like the thrashy side of LOVEBITES a little bit. Maybe don't get their thrashy kick in enough here. I would argue that I feel like there's enough thrashy songs in here, enough of your stereotypical LOVEBITES that I think you can still get your kick in on this album. So if anybody argues that, I mean, would they have a valid point? I don't think they would. No, but that's the only argument that I could foresee of this album is maybe there's like it's so diverse that there's not enough of the LOVEBITES kind of like sound consistently throughout this album that maybe people will want. But me personally, I really love the fact that they've elevated this album even beyond my wildest expectations. When you think that you've got them coined, this is an album I think that will surprise a lot of people. I think it is an evolution of their sound. I think it is better and in every kind of sense, but every kind of way. I can't not sing this album's praises enough. I wholeheartedly album of the year already. I don't think anything else comes close to this. I really don't. Visit me the channel at the end of the year to see if anybody can dislodge this, but I don't see it happening. What an album. Yeah, just like if you want me to score this, it's going to be a 10 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It gave me everything that I needed. I rocked out. It gave me my emotional ballad. It gives me those slow down songs. It gave me Fammy. It gave me all the girls. It did everything I wanted it to do, and then some. So outstanding power. Just hell yeah. Just absolutely incredible. That is my review. That's my thoughts. Thank you as well for joining me on the journey. It's been a long one with 12 tracks. But yeah, let me know what you think of the album. Obviously, as I post this, not many people have heard the album in the entirety. But if you have, comment down below. Let me know what your initial thoughts are on the album. If you're coming back after a few weeks and you've listened to it a couple of times, come back and comment on this one and let me know like how you feel after a few weeks. You know, if people are interested, I might do a follow-up video in like a month's time, just like my thoughts on the LOVEBITES album. If you guys are interested in that, again, let me know in the comments down below, because I totally would do that. See if my thoughts and opinions have changed over time, because I am kind of like going off the buzz right now. I am super excited coming off the back of this, and I'm going to go and listen to the album again. I'm going to put it on repeat now and listen to it just non-stop. Thank you to everybody that watches this, whether or not you're a fan of metal music, Japanese music, a fan of LOVEBITES. If you've watched this video, if you've joined the journey, if you've liked, if you've subscribed, even better. I just want to say a big thank you. It's you guys that make these videos popular. Like without you guys watching these, I wouldn't do this. And the fact that so many people like them and enjoy them fills me with joy. It's just a great time to be alive. I love this kind of music. I'm so passionate about it. LOVEBITES is just it's so good when a band just releases something and you just absolutely love it off the bat. I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped. So thank you for joining me for the journey. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you on the channel next time. Take care, guys. Thank you. What a day to be alive. Woohoo! Ow!